shame is a huge factor in not getting healing because, I'm going to use Pastor Rick Warren, mega church author, book, pastor. One of the things he talks about, and I really firmly believe this, and before I even knew Rick Warren talked about it, I just said the church can be a place of healing. And when the church shames us, that makes us even feel more depressed and dark because it feels like we failed at something. I use examples of Tamar in my book. Tamar, because of the sexual assault of her brother, she ended up living a life of shame and isolated herself, and you never hear from her again. The church, it can really, really be a facilitator for healing in that, as Rick Warren talks about and as I agree with, the church serves a vital role in talking about things that sometimes seem taboo or things that people won't necessarily talk about. Having depression or any form of mental illness, because anxiety, depression, and panic, and all of the others, dissociative disorder, and all these other things, they're all lumped into that. It's no different than having a physical illness. I shared this story also in my writing. There is a gentleman who got sick. He went into the hospital, and in the hospital, while he was in the hospital, they had all of these people surrounding them and whatever. When they got home, they had food, and people were stopping by to make sure that they were okay. Well, when and juxtapose that story with someone who's suffering from mental disorder, mental illness, and they said no one showed up, no one called, no one even demonstrated any sense of love and care. The church is supposed to be about modeling Christ, and modeling Christ means loving individuals, loving people, loving everyone, and loving when maybe they're going through some difficult times. And it's hard, and it takes a lot of time, because I knew going through my own state of depression how hard it was to come out of it. But I found, and that goes into relationships, I found individuals who were willing to walk with me through this dark space. And I also encourage, just like we go to physicians if we have medical illnesses, we should go to physicians when we have mental illnesses. Rick Warren talks about his son's suicide and how that affected him. And he shares that openly within the body of Christ. And it's almost like the church gives us permission to live and to be who we are and not feel ashamed of anything that we've gone through. But it has to be a church that's loving. It has to be a church that surrounds itself, puts itself around you and will hold you up when you're going through the hard times. The ones that will pick up the phone when you just need a voice so that you don't go to that dark place. Those are all the things I've learned. And what I'm passionate about, if someone is going through a hard time and I see that they call, I'm picking up that phone. I'm going to go and meet with them. I'm going to talk with them as long as they need to talk. And what we find when we demonstrate the love of Christ, people can rise up. They begin to rise up out of the darkness. God heals, but we can facilitate that healing.